With 11 minutes left, Lionel Messi was about to be eliminated from the World Cup by a team that had never won a knockout game before. He'd already missed a penalty. His passes were off. He looked, for the first time all tournament, like a 39-year-old man running out of magic. And then he did something that turned one of the most shocking upsets in World Cup history into one of the greatest comebacks anyone has ever seen. Stick around, because what happened in the final 11 minutes is the kind of thing you tell your kids about. Section 1. The setup. Let's rewind. Round of 16. Argentina, the defending World Cup champions, versus Egypt. On paper, this should not have been close. Egypt had never won a World Cup knockout match in their entire history. They'd just scraped past Australia on penalties. Argentina were the champions, loaded with talent, and Messi was rolling. 7 goals already through the tournament. In theory, this was a formality, a box to check on the way to the quarterfinals. In practice, Egypt didn't get the memo. Section 2. The nightmare. Start. 15 minutes in, Egypt takes the lead. A header from Yasser Ibrahim off a corner. Argentina, unbeaten all tournament, is suddenly behind. Then it gets worse. Argentina earns a penalty. Messi steps up. This is supposed to be the easy part. Messi from the spot is basically automatic. The goalkeeper, Mostafa Shober, guesses right and saves it. You know the type of moment this is. The kind where the crowd goes dead silent and you can feel a whole stadium wondering the same thing at once. Is this actually happening? Section 3. It gets even worse. Second half. Egypt doubles their lead. Mostafa Zico scores to make it 2-0. At this point, Argentina, the reigning world champions, are 11 minutes away from getting knocked out by a team making World Cup knockout history for the first time. This sounds like a disaster movie. It basically was one, and Messi for most of this game hadn't looked like Messi. Misplaced passes, a shot that sailed way over the bar, getting knocked off the ball by defenders half his experience. Here's where it gets interesting though, because greatness sometimes isn't about having a perfect game. It's about what you do when the game is falling apart. Section 4. The turn. Argentina's coach makes a substitution. Lautaro Martinez comes on, and suddenly Messi gets pushed out wide, away from the crowded middle of the field where he'd been stuck all game. Out on the wing, Messi finally finds room to breathe. Minute 79. Messi whips in a cross. Christian Romero rises up and heads it home. 2-1. Argentina's still alive, but barely. 4 minutes later, Messi gets the ball again, and this time he doesn't pass it. He rifles a first-time shot past the goalkeeper himself. 2-2. From nearly eliminated to fully level in under 5 minutes. That's not a normal swing. That's the kind of stuff that gets replayed for decades. Section 5. The knockout punch. The game is tied. Everyone's exhausted. Egypt, who'd led for over an hour, is suddenly playing on fumes and nerves. Then, deep into stoppage time, Lautaro Martinez sends in a cross. Enzo Fernandez rises up and heads it into the far corner. 3-2. Argentina. Egypt has no time to respond. The final whistle blows seconds later, and a team that had this game won for over an hour walks away with nothing. This is the part where you almost feel bad for Egypt. Almost. Section 6. Why this comeback hits different. Here's the thing that makes this one special. Messi didn't save this game by having a great match. He saved it by having a rough match, and still finding a way to be the difference when it mattered most. He's the first player ever to miss 2 penalties in a single World Cup. He looked human, frustrated, even a little lost for most of this game. And then, in the final minutes, he turned into the guy who's been rewriting the sport's history for 20 years. That contrast is exactly why this match will get talked about forever. It wasn't a clean, dominant performance. It was messy, tense, and almost a disaster, right up until it wasn't. Ending. So let's go back to where we started. 11 minutes from elimination. A missed penalty. A team that had never won a World Cup knockout game, about to make history at Argentina's expense. And somehow the guy having arguably his worst game of the tournament still ended up being the reason Argentina survived. That's the whole story of Messi in one match. The magic doesn't always show up early, but it almost always shows up when it counts. So here's the question worth sitting with. How many more of these miracle finishes does this man have left in him? If breakdowns like this make the game click for you, hit subscribe. This channel's all about making sports actually make sense.